Micah Frankel, joined by Bellator light heavyweight Jordan Young. Thank you for the time, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I appreciate the call and the time.
Oh, I appreciate your time, sir. Getting ready for Bellator 210, and can you give us a little insight into how preparation, how camp has been?
Everything's been going good. I've had a nice productive camp. We continued with our momentum from the previous camp, first camp for a 205 cut, or 205 fight, better yet. So this is going to be the best weight cut of my career. Everything is on point right now. Clockwork.
Talking about the weight cut, what has the difference in your strength and condition regimen and even your kind of intake on food-wise been like now in these last couple fights as you've progressed up to being and now stabilizing yourself as a light heavyweight?
Yeah, so before my last fight, I knew I was going to be a light heavyweight. So before camp even started, me and my strength and conditioning coach, Phil Daru, who is one of the absolute best in the world at what he does, started working on building my base up to be prepared to be not just a 205-pound fighter, but one of the top 205-pound fighters. And so pretty much what I've been feeling is that this is more of what my body actually is. Middleweight, I was a middleweight for a time period, but then I started trying to force it, and that wasn't natural for my body. And so it was hard for me to lose weight, and I was fighting against myself. Now it's hard for me to keep weight on, but not necessarily in a bad way. I have a good walking around weight, and I'm able to eat the right foods in the right amount. I'm not having to limit anything or not properly recover after these hard training sessions.
How have you felt your body has adapted to taking on that size and building on the strength rather than trying to just fully slender down?
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing for me and my body. If you look at my body as a middleweight, I'm a tall, long guy, and it's pretty much I'm kind of skinny, if you will. Now that I am able to start adding on some functional muscle and some strength, I've just been adding on to my long frame, and I feel it's natural. Everything is feeling great. My leverage and my balance and my overall athleticism and fitness has went up levels as well.
As a young guy, was that also part of the realization that at your age, if it was starting to become hard already, obviously your time at middleweight was limited?
Absolutely. You can't take away from your body either. Like, I'm 22, 23 years old, making these middleweight cuts, fighting against myself, and I feel at that time period, 23 going into 24, which I'll be turning 24 this Friday, you need to be feeding your body to gain size, gain strength, gain explosiveness. And you're not able to do that if you're taking away calories from your diet. And, you'll feel it in your training regimen as well. If you're not getting the proper amount of calories, if you owe your body calories, you're going to wake up sore, and you're going to be tired during these practices when you should be flourishing and going hard. You know what I mean? You should be improving, not feeling diminished.
Back in June, back at Bellator 201, what was that like? What did that fight feel like for you?
That fight was a good fight for me. The first round I outclassed him. The second round he took me down. With all due respect, I lost that round. But if you go back and look at the footage, I took 0 significant strikes. He pretty much took me down and put his head in my lap and tried to do my girlfriend's job. The goal is to go out there and finish fights, not sit there and hug on another man. He had his arms wrapped around my legs, and it's my job to peel myself up that wall. And as soon as we got through that fight, we went to the back and we worked on some things to make sure that never happens again. But in the third round, he tried to sing the game plan, and I was able to get to my feet a couple times and end the fight with the submission. And I think in the second half of the third round. So for me, it felt good because it was a learning experience without actually taking a loss, and I was able to stay hungry after that and go back to the gym and improve in those areas. Everything is a plus for me. That's how I view things in my life.
So many submission victories already, so young in your career. Do you feel that you found your niche with finishing guys with the submissions, or it's just kind of the finishes that you've seen and that's how they've played out?
Yeah, it's just played out that way. Every fight is a different movie, if you will. Like, the plot is always different, and these fights don't belong to me. They belong to the moment, the anticipation, and the build-up of the fight. So all I can do is respect the moment. And when I show up to these fights, I just, when the moment comes, that's when it happens. And so far, mostly what's been happening in my eyes is that I come out and I look to put the pressure on people. I'm coming forward. I'm landing long, straight punches, and people are ducking under and looking to slow the fight down and get me on the ground. I don't feel like I've been put on my back by a guy who's looking to advance position and punch me unconscious or submit me. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm getting taken down, and guys are looking to hold me down and keep me in spot, keep me in position, and win by running the clock out.
I've talked to other guys that have had a lot of submission finishes, and there just gets to a point where you're like, man, I just like to get a knockout so I could have one. Have you gotten to that point yet?
No, the knockout's going to come. I'm in this sport, like you said, I'm 23 years old, turning 24. I'm very young in the sport. I've taken relatively no damage in the sport. I'm going to be here for a very long time, so it'll be very naive of me to think that the knockout's not going to come at some point in my career. And I don't just anticipate getting one knockout. There'll be many knockouts. It'll come. Like I said, these fights don't belong to me. They belong to the moment. I can't sit on the forefront and say this is exactly what's going to happen. Because in all reality, the fights that I finished with submissions, I feel I could have knocked some of those guys out as well. But in the moment, when the opportunity presented itself, and it was either, no, let that go, get to your feet and look for the knockout, or go ahead and grab that because it's there and go home with both of your checks. And in the moment, I've chosen to take both checks every time. So that's just what it is.
I think I read that you started your martial arts training, teenage, preteen kind of years. When did you know that competing, martial arts, MMA, this was definitely what you wanted to do?
Honestly, when I was 16 years old, my mom had a friend who owned some furnished apartments, and he had a truck that was nothing too nice, but it was an extra car. And I went out there when I was 16 years old, and I was staying in Las Vegas by myself, and I was training at the great Wanderlei Silva's. At the time, he had Khalil Roundtree, who was prominent in the UFC light heavyweight division right now. But he was one of the top fighters on the fight team at that time, and they had an overall good team, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and I went out there as a 16-year-old and trained all summer, and I competed in a in-house jiu-jitsu tournament amongst the pros at the end, and I ended up winning it. And there was a moment after that where Wanderlei Silva, he was present for the championship match, raised my arm after, we had a little bit of conversation. Just his energy and being in his gym, all of the Pride memorabilia and all the pictures of him, he's a legend in America and in Japan, so just globally. So honestly, just being in that presence, and something switched for me, and I just felt like this was something that I could do, and it was in my control. Unlike the other sports that people do, football, basketball, you need coaches and recruiters and schools and a whole bunch of extra things that I didn't want to deal with.
That sounds like an amazing, that's an amazing experience right there to start off with, and it sounds like a huge confidence builder.
Yeah, for sure. I took it with strides. I didn't think of it. I was young at the time, so I didn't think anything too much of it. I took it and I thought it was cool, and it gave me some motivation. I ended up going back to my hometown of Des Moines, Iowa, where I was in high school. And, I just remember being in those classes, not really focused on the schoolwork, more so thinking about movements and martial arts and sequences. And at the time, I was really big on jiu-jitsu, and I was in the gi growing up, so I would do my schoolwork. I think I finished with like a B average, but a lot of times I was dipping out after these classes to a new jiu-jitsu class or, whatever was going on at the time.
And obviously the jiu-jitsu class is taken, as we said. All these submission finishes have worked out greatly, and you've had still into Bellator 210, undefeated, and taking on Anthony Ruiz, a guy that has, what is this, nearly 60 fights under his belt. What do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, I like it. For me, I think that he hasn't fought. He fought one time last year, and he hasn't fought at all this year. I don't know what his motivation would be to step out of, I believe he was in retirement, to fight a young animal like myself at 41 years of age that he is. But, I respect him for taking the fight, and I'm looking forward to showing up and showing that the 60 fights not only don't mean too much, but also the difference between me and the other, I think, 50. Well, I think this will be his 59th fight, so the other 58 people that he's fought, you know what I mean? I would like to put a stamp on this fight and make it stand out from the rest of his, I don't know how many defeats, 22 defeats. This would be his 23rd defeat. So, I'd like to just make it stand out from the other 22 defeats.
And I'm sure that one of the goals that you have is finding yourself on the main card. Do you feel that you've had finishes so far in your Bellator career? Do you need to make a statement to get to that next level?
Yeah, most definitely. Once again, though, it's no rush for me. I know that these things are coming. I'm going to be in the game for a long time. When it comes to statements, I'm just going to continue to do my thing. And I feel every fight's been a statement. I think out of the 4 Bellator fights I've had, I finished 3 opponents. It's very rare. This will be my 10th fight, and after this fight, out of 10 fights, I've been to the judge only 2 times. So it's very rare that I have to go to the judge's scorecard. And I'm young, I'm confident, and I have an exciting style. So I think that the formula is there. It's just a matter of the timing being right, and just making the decision to put me there.
Having such a even keel attitude about everything, I'm pretty sure you'd put that same kind of thought process into evaluating your performances. Where have been some of your focuses in where you need to improve, of what you had to do to take yourself to that next level?
Yeah, so I keep working in the gym on everything. I focus on myself, and I have a great group of individuals, coaches, and training partners around me that are honest, and we zone in on each other, and we analyze what we need to do to get to the next level, and we make it happen. If you want to get specific, I've been with my strength and conditioning coach, Phil Darwin, working that base and continue to make me a higher level 205-pound fighter in the regards of my body. You know what I mean? You can have all the technique in the world, but as far as being an imposing figure at 205 pounds, that's what we're working on. And my coach, Mike Brown, and I, we continue to work on a lot of get-ups and defensive wrestling. A lot of these guys have been shooting in and using wrestling as the number one offense. And we're prepared for that always. I'm always looking forward to showing improvements better than the last fight.
Real quick, talking about your division, being a light heavyweight now, what did you think of last weekend's matchup? Presumably looked like a number 1 contenders bout when we saw Nemkov against Davis.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Nemkov is young and hungry, and he has momentum behind him right now. I think he went in there and put on a good performance against Davis. I think that Ryan Bader right now has Fedor on his hands, and I think he's going to do well in this fight, actually. So, the division's going to play itself out. You have Liam McGarry and King Mo. All of the prominent players in the division have either just recently fought or they're going to fight very soon before the end of the year. So I'm just going to go out there and handle my business and sit back and let this play out. It's no rush for me. I don't feel any pressure in this situation.
Has the situation actually with Bader being in the tournament and fighting in the finals kind of almost delaying the division where some people would complain, has that almost been a blessing to you, allowing you to keep this natural maturation process where you're like, the division's not going anywhere, I can do this at my own pace anyway?
Yeah, like I said, I'm always focused on myself. I feel that with the division being the way it is, guys have to play themselves out in his absence instead of maybe me getting rushed along my progression. You know, this will be my second fight at 205 pounds, and I'm looking to continue to improve and become higher level. I think that it is playing in my favor, though, yeah.
Real quick, Jordan, last but not least, actually, could you just tell everybody real quick how to follow you on social media?
Yeah, most definitely. So anybody listening, check me out on Instagram at JAY185. That's where I'm most prominent. I use my Instagram more than any of my other social media. You know, I want to shout out my sponsors, Flavor RX, 8 Man Strong, Aaron Pouncey, J&K Complete Auto Care, as well as my coaches and training partners at American Top Team. Bellator 210, I'm going to put on an amazing performance, and I hope you all get to check it out. I appreciate your time.
Awesome, sir. Thank you very much for the time. Bellator 210, everybody. Check it out November 30th.